Lights, camera, action. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're viewing from. This is Laura Thompson with TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach, and you're tuned into the coffee break. You know, I was just sitting here minding my own business, trying to take a little coffee break, and in walks the National Association of Black Military Women, all dappered up in their cowgirl hats with their patches and their lovely attire. And so today we're going to be talking to them about the organization and about an upcoming event that's going to be happening in San Antonio that you don't want to miss. So how y'all doing?
Wonderful. How are you doing today?
Just doing just
great.
Just dandy.
Dandy.
right. You know, they got on you got to use a little Western lingo. They got on the cowgirl hats. So I'm just going to go, down the row. So before we get started with the interview, can you just introduce yourself and tell us what your position is in the organization and a little bit about you, just a little bit. And
okay.
If you go too far, I'll just say, tell it all.
It'll be just a little bit, Laura.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Mary Hayes. I'm the chapter president for the San Antonio chapter here. I'm retired. I'm a retired sergeant major, United States Army, with 30 plus years. And I've been in the organization for 2 years.
Okay. That is phenomenal.
Thank you.
So thanks for joining me.
I'm glad to be here.
And I know this next young lady, Lakeisha Howard, can you tell us just a little bit about your position in the organization, what you do, why you do it, all that good stuff?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Lakeisha Howard. I am the vice president for NABMW San Antonio chapter. Been a part of the chapter for 2 years now since we established here in San Antonio. Retired Air Force combat veteran.
Wow, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I know this other young lady, Annette Godfrey. Can you tell us a little bit about your position with the organization, what you do, why you do it, all of those good things?
So I'm Annette Godfrey, and I am the membership chair for San Antonio. I've been with the NABMWSA for 2 years also.
Wow.
When they started.
So that's phenomenal. So I had an opportunity to attend the national convention several years back before y'all started your organization. And I thought that, why San Antonio didn't have one since this is Military USA. So I'm very glad that y'all stepped up to the plate and started this organization. So y'all have, so what are some of the things that you do in the community? And this question is not directed at any one person. You could just jump in and, tell us some of the things that y'all do to serve the community or why your organization exists.
Well, Mary here.
Okay.
The reason that this organization exists is back during World War II, there was the 6th AAA Postal Battalion. It was predominantly all Black females, and their motto was no male, low morale. And in this group of women who dismantled all this mail to the soldiers during that time, that was their mission. And when they all left the military, they decided that their story wasn't being told. And you hear about the Buffalo Soldiers, but you never hear about the predominantly Black women who served in the military as well. And so they would get together every 2 years and have a reunion because their story wasn't being told. And they felt that, how is our history going to be told if we don't tell it ourselves?
Absolutely.
And so when they started those reunions, and I think that you said that you went to one here in San Antonio when they had a convention here.
Yes.
Yes, that was part of that. They would have them in different locations every 2 years. And so after they decided to do that, there was a group of ladies, there was 21 ladies who got together in this reunion process that, decided, we needed to continue this on, which in fact that they did. And so from that group of ladies that started that, they renamed it because you had your WACs, your WACs, your WAACs, and so they decided to call it the National Association of Black Military Women.
Wow, that's
And
phenomenal.
and listening to the title, it's the National Association of Black Military Women. And because if you go back and you read the history of the 6th AAA Postal Battalion, they were predominantly all Black, but there were some other nationalities mixed up in there as well,
Okay.
which made up that Postal Battalion. So the
that's-
saga continues.
So a lot of the things that we are doing in the community and establishing in the community is bridging that gap of communication between active duty, because our organization does accept active duty service women,
Okay.
as well as veterans, as well as civilians. So we want to bridge that communication gap so that we can come together with a community engagement approach to those who are in our community who may be less fortunate, who may need mentorship, who may need life skills. So that's the direction that we're going into now. With any organization or any business, it takes about 5 years to really establish yourself. So we are in that 2-year going into our third year time frame. So things that we have did in the community, from getting together with each other, as going far as going out to different community events, getting our name out there, showing that we are here to be a beacon of help and hope to our community, to serving meals with Meals on Wheels, as well as other partnerships with other veteran support organizations as well.
Wow, I just think it's phenomenal that you started here. And before we segue into Annette, because she's the membership chair, I think that because you're in Military City, USA, that y'all should have the largest chapter in the country.
We're working on it.
We are definitely working on making San Antonio the blueprint. We want to change that trajectory because of being Military City, USA. Making San Antonio the blueprint of what we stand for when we say, tell her story, tell our story. That female veteran who, does not get those accolades that we deserve as far as the female veteran goes. So we definitely will be the blueprint and the
That's
future.
awesome.
Yes.
Well, I really, really like y'all's, your look. And you're sitting next to the branding guru. Although you're the membership chair, I'm sure that you offer other services and skills to the organization. So tell us a little bit about what you do in the organization and why you're involved.
Well, okay, like you said, I am the membership chair. So my job is to try to get new members. Members. If they would like to join, they can go to NABMWSA.org, and there's a Join Now button on there. But we're starting to go out more and try to recruit members.
Okay.
We were just at Resurrection Church on Sunday, and we have what they call rep cards, where people give us their information, and I get back in contact with them. And we had 39 women that I would say half of them didn't know about NABMWSA.
Wow.
So just getting it out there and talking to people and letting them know about the organization is a big thing.
Right. It's a lot of military people
Yes.
and women in San Antonio. I think I'm like the minority of the group.
But we accept
Because,
those who are not in the military as well,
Okay.
because we have associate members, and those members can include those who are non-veterans. It can include your spouses, your children, as long as they're 18 years or older. Your friends, your relatives. They're all able to join the organization
Anybody
as
that
an
believes in
associate
our
member.
mission.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
Well, that's what I believe in, y'all.
Yes.
Awesome.
Because I want one of those hats.
Oh, well, you know what?
And a jacket with
We'll make sure that you get a hat with the patch.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. So, y'all are celebrating something too, because this is your second year in existence. But y'all are dressed like y'all been in existence for a long, long time. And I love it. I love it. So, could one of you tell me a little bit about what you all are getting ready to celebrate and why?
I'm going to leave it to these two
Lakeisha.
ladies because they're a part of that committee that's putting this gala together on June the 28th.
So we'll be celebrating our second anniversary on June 28th. It is going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
We're going to celebrate those women who served from 1942 to
Wow.
1978.
Wow.
Believe it or not, we have several members in our organization that fall into those number of years. So
Wow.
we're going to be celebrating them. We're going to celebrate our organization as a whole, and most importantly, our chapter and the direction that we're going into. We have vendor opportunities. We have silent auction. We're going to do
Wow.
a history video of the organization and the ladies who we originated from, the shoulders that we're standing on, 6888. We have 3 phenomenal guest speakers that's going to be presenting
Wow.
to us.
Hmm.
Kira Nicole is going to be one of our soloists. Devon Matthews is going to be
Yes,
another soloist.
Wow.
So this is going to be really big for us and for
Yes.
our chapter. Now, even though it's a celebration as far as the gala goes and our second anniversary, to me it's far more. It's far more because we're really showcasing the shoulders that we stand on. We're showcasing why we exist. We're showcasing why I had the opportunity to serve, to
Wow.
volunteer, to serve my country, to serve in the Air Force. And the capacity that I served in wouldn't have happened had it not been for those ladies whose shoulders we stand
Yes.
on. So to me, it's far greater than anything that I can possibly imagine. And because of that, we want our community to be involved in this great celebration,
Wow.
and celebrate with us, not just for us and our second anniversary, but most importantly for the shoulders that we stand on.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I had an opportunity to meet a couple of the ladies that served in the 6888 battalion while they were there. And I think it's just one still alive now, but there were 2 ladies at the time. One of them just recently passed away, but I just think it's phenomenal. I had no idea, of the work that the Black military women have put in and are still putting in the work to serve our country. And so, I just think it's a phenomenal endeavor.
Yes.
I predict, and I'm not a prophet or nothing, but I do predict that you will have a huge, huge following here and membership base here in San Antonio. Because just about everybody I meet or know, they served in the military. And I see there's one Air Force, you're outnumbered, one Air Force and 2 armies.
And 2.
Go Army. My dad was in the Army, but
It's okay, because
We love her anyway.
my husband is Army. I have a son that's Army, a daughter Navy, and a
Okay.
son Air Force. So we cover
So she
pretty
covers
much
all the
all
boundaries.
of them.
Okay, except for the Marines. I've met maybe 2 Marines in my life. I don't know why, but and a lot of Air Force and a few Army. But you're outnumbered today. So how can they do that?
So all of that is on the website.
Okay.
So it's NABMWSA.org.
Okay.
So these shirts say, "Ask me my story," meaning that's what we do, tell our story
Wow.
about being in the military. And then it has our website and women vet on it.
Wow, y'all just got everything together. Just absolutely everything. So I understand that there was a screening of the movie here in San Antonio. Did either of you happen
It was
to see
at
the music?
Antioch. It was at Antioch Church.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
back in December.
yeah. The 6888 movie that was put out by Tyler Perry,
Wow.
and it showcased December. Was it December 6th?
I'm not remember the date,
Yeah,
but it
Before
was in
December. Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
December.
It was right before Christmas that it came out on Netflix, and it's a
It's huge.
very good movie. Kerry Washington played Charity Adams, who was the commander of the Postal Battalion, and it's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to go on Netflix and watch it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal, phenomenal. So, is there anything else in closing that y'all would like to say? Each one of you can take a minute or so to talk about the organization, or just to talk about yourself in general, or some of your experience in the military.
Well, I'm not going to talk about myself or anything, but I will say this. We as women veterans, we shortchange ourselves by keeping our stories to ourselves. And can't no one tell our story better than we can. We all have experienced different things going through our careers in the military, and you can only assume that you know. And then when you assume that you know something, that's what you're going to portray out there. But we owe it to ourselves, to our families, to our friends, and to everyone else out there to let them know exactly our story. And that's our motto is tell her story. And if we don't tell it, and that means the good along with the bad, because everyone didn't have a good military career. There were some things. I won't change anything that I experienced through my military career, because evidently I had to experience that to get to where I am today. So therefore, some of it wasn't all good, so that's part of your story, and it may hurt the other side when you tell the bad parts, but that's exactly what happened, So when you go out there to tell your story, make sure you tell the whole story, and leave out the little pieces that you want to leave out. But if you don't tell it the way that you want it portrayed, then somebody else is going to tell it for you, and then they will make up all the little pieces that they think happened.
Wow.
So, I'm honored to be part of this organization, and I will continue to be part of this organization, and just build on it going forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's phenomenal. I'm just really excited about the organization and what y'all have done. I was really, really excited when the convention came, because I was like, wow, I'd never heard of this. As a matter of fact, it just had NABMW on the email. And I was thinking it was the National Association for Women Business Owners, because I really didn't look at it close. And I ignored the email for a long time, because they started sending it like 3 months before the convention was here. And so when I finally opened it, I said, oh my God, how did I overlook this? And so I was very excited to be able to, work with the organization, work with your national PR president. Well, she was the PR chair, to get the word out, and then to have this organization culminate out of that convention, and the need for it to be in San Antonio because of the big military population that we have here. I'm just honored to have an opportunity to speak with y'all and to interview y'all. And
Here, we'll tip our hat. There you go.
I wanted to piggyback off of something that Mary has said real quick. We wanted to be a safe space for us to come and talk about whatever went on. Lakeisha and Natasha, remember Natasha?
Yes.
They're trying to put together a mental health for us, because we have interior wounds that people can't see.
Wow. Right.
And so this is supposed to be a safe place for sisterhood also.
Yes.
Wow.
It will be a safe space for our sisters of our organization, of course, to come together, but also in the community. There's a lot of women, a lot of people, okay, in general, hurting. And even though there's a bunch of different organizations out there, and I'm not shortchanging any organization that is out there that is catering to the cause of mental health, we just want to come together and collaborate as well. Because as Black women who served in the military, unfortunately, there's a different thought process when we talk about mental health, because there's a lot of limitations on our side as far as Black women as a whole. May we have served in the military or not, but there is a difference from us serving in the military and our counterparts. So we want to be that beacon of hope and help to cater to those invisible and visible wounds of our sisters in our community, especially the military women, veterans, as well as active duty. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is a direction that we're going to be going into for our community engagement, as well as looking into helping teenage mothers who are going through different situations as teenagers, not having a mother figure maybe, or, you know, not having that family sisterhood involved in their life. So those are some of the things that we're going to be looking into going into the future for our particular chapter.
Wow. And y'all are well equipped to do that collectively.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is women's, I mean, not women's, it's Mental Health Awareness Month this month. And then for next month, thank God they finally got a day. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month in June.
Yes.
And so, we appreciate, again, y'all coming on, and I'm glad that is one of your focuses.
Absolutely.
Because this is a much needed service in a time like this.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so you've been tuned into the Coffee Break on PAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with the global reach. And we've been here with Mary, Lakeisha, and Annette, and their officers or committee chairs of the National Association of Black Military Women of San Antonio.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank
you for having us.
Ciao.
Ciao.